This is our channel, Unacademy Cat. Very good evening to all the learners of Unacademy and welcome you all to a very special session today. We are going to do a mock group discussion, and today with me are one of the most young and talented aspirant of various MBA entrance exam, Janesh, Hemant, Bhavya, Vicky. Welcome you guys on the official platform of your preparation on YouTube, that is Unacademy Cat. Welcome and good evening, guys.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, guys. So before we start with the actual group discussion, I want to tell all the live viewers about the two types of subscriptions available with you guys. One is the plus subscription, जिसमें आपको daily live classes, weekly tests, study material, unlimited access and structured courses मिलते हैं. Whereas in Iconic आपको plus के तो सारे benefits मिल जाते हैं, but at the same time you also get personal guidance, study planner, one-on-one live mentoring, personalized test analysis, and expert guidance to all the examinations that you're preparing for. So go for the subscription, guys. The 1 year subscription plan for Iconic goes for 39,500 rupees. And all the CAT 2022 aspirants, you guys can go for the 2 year subscription plan that goes for 59,999. Similarly, plus के लिए भी अलग अलग सब्सक्रिप्शन अवेलेबल है गाइज आपके पास, जैसे 6 month सब्सक्रिप्शन goes for 16,400, 18 months goes for 28,550, and CAT 2022 aspirants can go for the 24-month subscription that goes for 32,800. And guys, do not forget to use this code. इस कोड को इस्तेमाल करना बिल्कुल भी मत भूलिए. दैट इज RUSHI. ये मेरा एडुकेटर कोड है. ये कोड आपको स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड 10% डिस्काउंट दे देगा आपके सारे सब्सक्रिप्शन पर. Also, guys, new batches are starting up for from 27th of October for CAT and OMET 2022. तो जल्दी से जल्दी guys सब्सक्राइब कीजिए अपने प्लस और आइकॉनिक प्लेटफॉर्म को and use my code. Enroll to these classes and enhance your learning only with an academy. तो चलिए guys, now शुरू करते हैं इस मॉक ग्रुप डिस्कशन को. हेमंत, जैनिश, भव्या एंड विकी, फिर एक बार आप सब लोगों को गुड इवनिंग. So guys, today's topic for discussion is India's vaccination program. Okay, I repeat, the today's topic for discussion is India's vaccination program. The total time for you to discuss will be 20 minutes. Okay, you will have 2 minutes to write down all the points that you want to say in this group discussion. Standard GD rules apply होंगे guys. Please do not go personal on each other. This is a learning process, so enjoy yourself. So your time for jotting down the points starts right now, guys. 2 minutes, go for it. Hi Mayank, good evening. Hi Gunjan, good evening to you. Welcome to this session. So are you guys ready? All of you ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So
Yes, sir.
you will have 20 minutes to discuss for the topic, guys. I'm repeating the topic once again. The topic for today is India's vaccination program, and your time for the discussion starts now, guys. Go for it. Let's
So
crack
good
it.
evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. So here we are today to discuss about the Indian vaccination program, as we all know. So before we put our discussion into the matter, there are some key facts that I would like to highlight. First of all, we have inoculated more than 1 billion doses. So what are the key factors that we need to see? First of all, only 32% of the India has received the double dose, whereas 75% has received the single dose. So the traction or the difference is the most when compared to all the countries worldwide. Now, some questions that I would like to ask is it necessary? Like, can we speed up the vaccine? First of all. Second, should we help or export the vaccines to other countries? Given that our neighbors, that is Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Nepal, have really less inoculations, so there is a chance that even though if the pandemic gets controlled in India, there might be COVID arriving from our neighboring countries and we won't be able to control. And third, we want to see that if children vaccine is really necessary or not. Is it a fast thing? Is it out of worry that we are doing? Or are we actually so advanced that we can take on this given that there is a lot of immunity problems in children? They all have different immunities in different age groups. So
Answer
I
to
would
your
like you
two
all.
of your questions, Hemant. I will give you answer to the two of your questions. Second number was your question was that we are exporting our doses to other countries like Nepal. So after
No,
100 millions of doses are already exported to Nepal, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Iran. 100 million plus doses are already been exported and more to go. And for the third one, for the children below 18, 5 years old to 18 years old, the vaccination called Zyco D, it is under third trial. So we can surely say that within a couple of months or a quarter of month, it will be there for our children's too. And the process is also going very smoothly with the digital platform Covin. After Covin, there is
right,
a
right,
totally
Vicky.
game change. At the
As you
time
said
of
about Zyco D, I would like to point out something that during Zyco D, it was said that only 440 trials will be made. So, do you think that the 440 trials will be sufficient to generalize it? Like, even if for 5-year-old there's only 10 or 20 trials, or let's say 100, can you generalize it to all the 5 years old? Or can you generalize it all to 6 years old? Is it the risk worth taking? Because the effect, the
there is a
side
no
effect
need
can be
now.
very much harmful in
The
children.
the scientists are already worked in this particular thing. The Covaxin is already done that particular work with the human trial. After all, the age is 15. Age is between 5 to 18. We can surely say that 45 trial will be fair enough. Or if the more trial will be needed, then it will be increased by the authority. But in
Sure.
the second, two trials have been successfully made it, and now its third trial is also going on. Yeah.
So I would like to
I
invite
would,
Bhavya. So, like,
yeah,
would you
yeah.
like to say something?
Yes, I was about to talk, Hemant. Thanks for that. So I would want to, change the tonality of the discussion we have at the moment. So I personally want to congratulate every citizen of India for the remarkable achievement we've made because, we contain 17.7%, approximately 18% of the world's population, and administrating 100 crore vaccines isn't a small task. Given the duration 9 months, it's a huge thing. When we've started out initially in the month of January, every country around the world, including the citizens of India, were really hesitant that whatever the government of India has made, the target of year end, the 31st of December, is it really achievable or not? Everyone was reluctant when Mr. Modi has announced this. But it turned around the table within 9 months, and India administered 100 crore vaccine, which is a step away from what China has made. And the amount of vaccines which we have administered is twice the amount which US has made, 5 times that of Japan, 9 times that of Germany, and 10 times that of France. Numbers speak everything, is what I feel. And as you mentioned, there are things which went well and which really did not go well. We can take lessons from them and incorporate with 40% of population what we have at the moment, which is below 18 years of age. we can take lessons from what did not go well from India's vaccination drive, and we can focus on what and we can focus on betterment of their administering is what I felt.
Yeah.
And also, in order to achieve this target, what we have, I think the frontline workers and everybody is doing really great. But let me just put this out there. What can we discuss on what really did not go well? So let me add
Yeah,
one
sure,
to
sure.
this
Why
point.
not?
Yeah, let me
Like
add one
it
to
was
this point,
beautifully
which that
articulated,
is that
Bhavya.
India did not start it earlier. So the vaccination drive hasn't been started earlier. And the second is that we've had shortage in between during the second wave. So these are the bottlenecks we've had. So yeah, Hemant, you were telling
Okay,
something.
Bhavya, as you said that we did not start earlier is one of the major setbacks, as you pointed out. Just
Correct.
pointing out this thing, I've read a lot. Like people don't trust the vaccine as of now yet. Like even after we have already started late, people don't trust that the time we have taken was enough for the vaccine efficiency. So, do you think if we started early, there would be a trust factor more? So that is the one thing that we need to keep in mind. Second of all,
Yes.
there's awareness. Not
Mm-hmm.
everyone is aware that we need two doses. Not the people who are below the pyramid, in the pyramid, below the pyramid are aware that there's a COVID app that where they can get their certificates and they have to get their second dose. So this awareness is also a very major part. Now the third thing that I would like to point out, like given the numbers that you told, it is said
Correct.
like China has administered 220 crore doses.
True.
So now the thing is, as we have moved up the ladder and we are on the second number, but what is the thing that we are seeing is the cases are not going down. It's 17,000 cases every day. So it is not necessary that if we are on the second, it does mean that we are on a good path. We really need to speed up because the 17,000 people is also a great number. And one thing that I would like to note that is good about it is the first 10 crore doses took 86 days and the recent one took 20 days. So definitely we are speeding up, but there are a lot of events like the government. I would not like to point out as a what you would say. I would not like to point out as a bad thing, but government is sometimes trying to conserve vaccines for particular occasions, like honorable prime minister's birthday. That they gave the record doses, but before that we could see that in 4 or 5 days there were very less doses. So should the government do this? This is one of
Uh,
the questions that arises.
the one you mentioned earlier regarding the awareness, I want to add this point there. Based on the studies and statistics, India had probably the lowest vaccine hesitancy around the world. Let me just give you an example of Russia. Russia has only administered 30% or 32% of its citizens vaccine. They did not trust the government. They felt that something is they've put something in the Sputnik V. So India has almost the lowest vaccine hesitancy, despite of its lower per capita income and people below the poverty line, and literacy rate is also relatively low compared to the other countries in the world. I think probably this the reason for the lower hesitancy was because of Indradhanush universal vaccination program we've had. So people are already aware that vaccines are good, and people already trust the government of India with their childs. I mean, infants are also vaccinated, or I think almost every month until few months. So people Indian citizens, despite of all these factors, the poverty, the lower literacy rate, the lower per
I
capita
wouldn't
income,
disagree with that, but
trust the
there's one
government.
thing that we should see that were left with no option, right? Those
Yeah.
who were not getting inoculated actually were being protested against. They were not actually getting accepted into a society, right? Like even
Yeah.
in my society, people were saying if you're not getting vaccinated, get it fast. Everyone is doing. So
Yeah.
is it that we have done because of our knowledge or our technicalities knowledge or because of the social pressure? That is the one thing we need to answer. Is it
Dis-
really the technicalities or the social pressure? So I would like to invite Janish to put some light on the matter if he wants to.
All right, Hemant. Thank you for the opportunity. I agree with you completely about the awareness and the hesitancy regarding the population towards vaccination drive. That I feel can be changed if we put up a little bit more awareness, which is required. As you said, there are a lot of people out there who doesn't know that you can book a slot in Covin, or they don't out of the under the pyramid, they don't know how to use the Covin app, or there is something like Covin also. So that is something which should be focused on at this point. if you feel, and not just you, a lot many people feel out that we need to speed up the vaccination drive, and technology is something that can help to it. So that
So there's
awareness
one
and also
point.
the transparency towards the numbers and the effect of vaccination and the results, the clinical results, the transparency to the clinical results can help.
Yeah. To
I
add
I
on
think we
what
got
Janish has,
disconnected. So there's one thing I would like to say, that in all that we have done, that COVID, now we can see that even though we are in number 2 of the world population getting vaccinated, did you notice that UK and all other foreign countries are even not satisfied with the certificates that we have got? So it also shows a trust factor in the international sector, as in the other countries are still not trusting us with the vaccines with the COVID certificates. So is it that we are not able to generate authenticity with our vaccines in the international forum, even though we are getting praise from the international community? If you know that recently UK has actually stopped that 14-day quarantine after India also made it mandatory for their visitors. Before that, it was not the case. So is it that the international acclaim is not with us, and is it just only the praise?
when it
Well,
comes to authenticity of the vaccines, Hemant, what you've spoken. So India at present monitors Covishield, Covaxin, and Sputnik V. So with regards to authenticity, Pfizer and other vaccines which are being manufactured by other countries, the main bottleneck what we have for India is the storage and transport. Fortunately or unfortunately, vaccines manufactured by India fits the shoe for our climatic conditions and for our logistics. So it might be that Pfizer is, I'm not really sure. Pfizer might be more effective, but for Indian situation, whatever vaccines we have fits the shoe. And when the authenticity you're mentioning, maybe that might be true, I think, but the world media or the world politics is also accepting that our vaccines are equally worth enough and they are equally efficient. Yeah.
Janish, would you like to speak something?
yeah, about the authenticity at an international forum, we haven't had any claim as such, but that is definitely a concern, I would say. And also, it is some thinking from the perspective of at a country level, it is responsibility of a country to just be aware rather than just what can I say? I would not trust a vaccine from a country which I don't know who developed or don't know if I haven't developed about compared to what I have developed. So that is definitely going to be a scenario worldwide.
So yeah, I would agree to that point. I would also like to point out, as Bhavya said, that we have international acclaim, and there's actually a lot of praise as well as the authenticity around the vaccine. So there's one question that comes up in my mind, that uh, is Covaxin and COVID Shield are already, as you said, fits the shoe. So is there need for third vaccine? Given cyber is
Yes.
also Pfizer is also here, and we are not able to generate or even not even to get the permission for making it in India. So do you think a third vaccine is needed, and won't it fit the shoe, like the people who would be vaccinated with a third vaccine would be questioned upon?
You meant the third shot, third booster shot, or the
No,
third
no,
kind of
not the booster
manufacturer?
shot. They are
Okay,
trying to come up with a third vaccine.
a
So
new
do you
manufacturing
think?
is what you meant.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
do you think it's really needed, given that COVID Shield and Covaxin has already fit the shoe?
The need for the other vaccine manufacturing comes from the point that with the limited capacity of the manufacturing unit and the limited resource number of resources we have in order to manufacture the current vaccines, we need another vaccine so that the vaccination drive boosts up. The only reason for a new vaccine is not that not questioning its authenticity, but for to cater the audience or to cater the citizens we have, a third vaccine might help. It isn't something that we should need it, but it will definitely boost the drive is what I meant. And another one, Heyman, that you mentioned regarding the COVID, I wouldn't deny that initial approach of the government with regards to the vaccination drive is not good. But later on in the after phase of the second wave, when the country is badly hit with the second wave, the government waived off the COVID app. So there isn't any need of registering and then getting a slot there. You can directly walk in even in the rural parts of India. You can directly walk into the centers where the vaccination is provided, and you can get your jab done. So I wouldn't deny that the initial approach wasn't that good, but I think we have come up with a hybrid approach that suits our citizen, and we are moving forward.
Also,
Would you
there's
like?
one last point that I would like to point out that right now vaccinations are in a very high, like they are trying to produce too many vaccines, and there's a lot of employment. India has also given almost 35,000 crores into this. But after the vaccination thing ends, what will happen to the employed people in that sector? Will the economic growth be the way it is? Because due to the vaccines that India is spending, at least some people are getting employed. So, what will be the lookout on the employment sector after this hassle is over, or is somewhat in control? This is also something we need to question. As to the economic growth is also something that has been majorly hit by the pandemic, and vaccination program has actually given a boost to it.
Correct. So, to question about this, to talk on this, I would want to say that I identify, and also I think India identifies this as an emergency. So, people having people on in emergency is different. Employment for an emergency is different from the other employment. And when it comes to pandemics, people have lost a lot of employment. So once the economy is up and running, I think the people who are from this sector, who are frontline workers, would eventually get into other sectors, because everything is down, and getting this vaccination drive as soon as possible, it will create a lot of employment. Everything will boost up, our economy will boost up. So I wouldn't see that as a risk, but definitely I think government of India should consider what to do with these people, but that isn't a specific or a significant risk.
Thank you so much. Anyone else who would like to point out something?
um,
Hemant?
Okay, let me just end this discussion by saying that kudos to all the frontline workers and government of India, district collectors, citizens of India mainly, who went and got the vaccinated, despite we did not have as much as hesitancy as the media and the people around were circulating. We did not have hesitancy because we are already used to vaccines by that time, and provided the statistics, I think India will be able to achieve the set target, but if not completely achieve, it will closely get to the point where the Mr. Modi, the Prime Minister of India, has promised. And eventually, let's just hope that we don't get a new strain of virus, new mutant, and the vaccines we've got help us get through that phase.
Yeah, I would also like to end with some words as obviously a congratulations to everyone who has put up a step forward in this vaccination program and given their trust. So there are some things that I believe personally, since the vaccination program is under kind of control, now I would see India exporting the vaccines to the neighboring countries, because as Bhavya mentioned, if a new strain comes up, the present vaccine go almost ineffective. So it is as much important to defend a new strain coming up as to inoculate everyone. So this is one thing that I would point out. Second, the awareness by the government, since everyone should know that uh, they get a certificate and then they can actually get the second dose date, everything. So this awareness is very much important, especially for the people under below poverty line. And third and final, the employment thing that, as Bhavya mentioned, isn't a risk, but we should look forward to the people, as the employment sector, though will gain a lot of traction, but at the end of the day, when those people go to a different sector, there might be some people who will lose jobs or who won't be able to get the opportunity. So what to do with those people? That has to be something that has to be kept in mind. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Janish, go ahead and conclude the topic for us.
All right. So concluding the topic, the COVID vaccination drive in India has taken a long leap from let's say January to October, completing over a billion vaccination doses and standing at the second rank in the world. We have three vaccinations right now running through Covaxin, Covishield, and the Zycov-D. All right, and also there are sides to it. This can be improved. There are technical difficulties, and there. Uh, let's just say that everything has their own pros and cons, but this vaccination drive has more pros than cons.
Vicky, go ahead and conclude the topic for us. Vicky, are you there? Vicky? Okay. I think there is some technical problem from Vicky's side, but uh, what a discussion, guys! What a discussion! Absolutely fantastic, Bhavya. You really put on the energy in the group discussion today. And Vicky, you are not audible. Vicky, you are on mute. You're on mute, Vicky.
Hello, sir. Now?
Now you're audible. Would you like to conclude?
Yes, sir, definitely. Sir, due to network issue, I am not participating in this particular. So sorry for that.
Not a
And
problem.
sir, my conclusion of the topic is that India is doing very well from the start onwards. The date when COVID has been, the China has been declared the COVID, that is December 2019. And at the time in India when the COVID patient has been identified in the March. First case was in 30th Jan COVID-19. 24 years old medical student was be there in Kerala. After that, the steps was taken by our respected Prime Minister Narendra Modi. That is Janta curfew, then lockdown. It will be we can say that it will be the major steps that COVID has been spread less in India other than world. We can see that the all over the world there was a lakhs plus million of people are infected with COVID, and thousands of dies are been happening in this particular phase. Then after India has been come up with a vaccination drive when vaccine has been passed by
Oh,
the
I know.
various passed by the WHOs. Uh, sorry, actually. Hello, hello.
Yes, yes, Vicky, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Now India is doing very well. So that's it, sir.
Done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay. Thank you. So, like I was saying, what a magnificent discussion, guys. Bhavya, you really gave a fantastic energy into the discussion. Good counters by Hemant there. Uh, However, a couple of things you guys have missed out. uh, काफी अच्छा spontaneous discussion रहा ये. I can see Hemant saying something from here and Bhavya giving a very befitting reply to Hemant on his counterpoints in the entire discussion. Same came from the Hemant side also. That was really good to see and good to not good to see actually. It was good to hear all the points that you guys were throwing at each other. I will be sharing the individual feedback with you guys, but some important points I thought you guys missed out in this discussion is uh, nobody spoke about COVAX. Okay, nobody spoke about COVAX. Do you know what COVAX is?
The vaccine, I mean, the drive which we have
I know
started.
particularly not.
It's not India's drive. It's WHO's global vaccination
Correct,
drive.
correct.
So
Where
Okay.
people were, where the abundant vaccine or the
yes.
vaccine which is, yeah, will be
So
shared
when
to.
Exactly, exactly. So when in the month of April, when the central government gave directions to the state government to procure all the vaccines on their own, Punjab was the first state to order vaccines from the COVAX program of the United Nations and WHO, along with the Gavi nations. That is the global vaccination initiative of the United Nations. Again, plus, guys, you guys, Bhavya, Hemant, both of you gave credit to the frontline workers, which absolutely they deserved. But nobody or none of among you spoke about the actual production capability where Serum Institute and Bharat Biotech have pushed themselves to give us an
Yeah,
interrupted supply of the vaccines. That is one of the reasons why we were able to achieve the feat of 1 billion vaccinations in the country. Okay,
true.
so that is one point. uh, Hemant, you kept on talking about uh, uh, registration, Covin, but you did not, you forgot to mention that there was an on-spot registration also allowed for the people, especially from the below poverty line people, that they walk in into the vaccination center, register themselves on the COVID with the help of the technician present at the center, and then get the jab done. So that was one thing. Plus,
Yes,
guys,
yes,
you spoke about various vaccines. You spoke about COVID. You spoke about uh, which is one, the Serum Institute, Covaxin,
Cool.
Covishield and Covaxin. Okay, you spoke about Sputnik also, but none
Cycle.
of you spoke about the gaps between the vaccines. Why there was a gap between the vaccines? There were three different vaccines. Bharat Biotech, the gap was different. Covishield, the gap was different. Sputnik, the gap was different. So nobody spoke about that. Uh, However, these are some of the important points which could have given you some leverage in the group discussion. तो काफी और अच्छा हो जाता. However, I have your individual feedbacks with me. Vicky, first of all, I'll start with you since you lost track in the in between of the group discussion because of some technical issue. I
Yes,
totally
sir.
understand that, but I really like the way you started the group discussion. Like Hemant was actually giving out opportunities to the people to take up on the group discussion, that I want to ask this question. You rightly pointed out that I would want to answer these two questions posted up, brought up by Hemant. So that was one good thing. How you
Yes,
started the
sir.
discussion. You mentioned the stats really good in the beginning. You spoke about the
Yes, sir.
various vaccines which are there in the country. They are being administered in the country.
Yes,
But
sir.
however, I think you lacked participation today. That is for very obvious reasons. You said you had a technical issue on your side. तो नेक्स्ट टाइम से विकी थोड़ा इधर ध्यान रखना. लास्ट टाइम भी आपका काफी ग्रुप डिस्कशन में इशू हो गया था.
Yes, sir.
ओके. जिनिश जिनिश
Yes, sir.
I think you are low on confidence today because for very obvious reasons, Hemant and Bhavya, they were absolutely killing the group discussion.
Yes, sir.
And let me tell you, this is a very obvious scenario that you are going to see in any group discussion. किसी भी group discussion में जाओ आप, any college which has group discussion in its selection criteria, ऐसे तोड़फोड़ करने वाले लोग होते ही होते हैं. So you don't have to sit back, okay? Find a way, enter the discussion and give away your points. ऐसे तो फिर if less participation है, अगर कम participation है जनिश, तो फिर बहुत कम मिल जाए मार्क्स मिलेंगे हम लोगों को. Okay?
Alex.
So I understand this is your first time. मुझे पता था कि this was your first group discussion. थोड़ा बहुत
Yes.
nervousness, थोड़ा बहुत ये रहेगा ही रहेगा. But I'm pretty sure I really like the conclusion that you gave. काफी अच्छे से conclude किया आपने उस topic को. But I hope next time आपका काफी अच्छे से ये रहेगा, participation रहेगा.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay?
Okay.
Hemant, good start there. Okay, gave a very brilliant start to the group discussion. Bang on stats. Okay, काफी अच्छे से stats को mention किया. However, export के बारे में जो बात कर रहे थे आप, okay, the export had already been done. And what you mentioned is कि पाकिस्तान, बांग्लादेश, नेपाल में इंडिया से ज्यादा इम्पैक्ट हो गया था कोविड 19 का. However, that's not true. Pakistan was very much able to control COVID 19 situation in their country. So when the second what do we say, the second
Wave.
wave when it
Second wave.
peaked in second wave when it peaked in India, Pakistan was the one to extend its hand in terms of giving ambulance to India. Okay, तो वहां पर वो थोड़ा सा एक इशू हो गया. However, बांग्लादेश, yes,
Didn't
we
know that.
could. हाँ, and we had already started exporting our vaccines way back in the month of January only. जब second
Yes.
wave आया, तब हमने उसे बंद कर दिया था. We had stopped
नहीं sir,
exporting.
like
हाँ,
I wanted to point out the recent thing. जैसे अभी जोर शोर में चल रहा है ना, तो सब बोल रहे हैं कि पहले इंडिया कंप्लीट करो फिर एक्सपोर्ट करो. एंड अभी रिसेंटली जो स्टार्ट हुआ है उस पे क्वेश्चन भी उठा, तो आई वाज लाइक टू ट्राइंग टू सी इफ दैट क्वेश्चन इज वैलिड इनफ और नॉट.
However, यहाँ पर आप you could have turned it around by saying that it is a humanitarian crisis. Okay, so COVID sees no border. है कि नहीं?
राइट
COVID
राइट राइट.
COVID doesn't see any border. You could have given a humanitarian angle to this situation and address the question in a very efficient way by yourself only. Humanitarian. So, yesterday when there was India Pakistan match, they were about to start. The Indian cricket team took a knee to extend their support to the Black lives. However, you could have said this ki every lives matter, right? COVID does not see race. COVID does not see color. COVID doesn't see religion. COVID doesn't see boundary. So you could have slightly turned out and given a humanitarian uh, flavor to this thing. You could have answered the question very well on all by yourself. तो थोड़ा सा वो एक था, but really good participation. Okay, काफी 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 अच्छा participation था आज. You thoroughly need articulation for your thoughts. क्योंकि sometimes what happens, there is a bridge between what you speak and what's there in your mind. तो
राइट.
articulation चाहिए. However, I did not understand why did you wanted to you were focusing more on authenticity of the vaccines. WHO had already certified that Covishield is an approved vaccine. It was wrong on the UK's part. So the bilateral relations between two countries, between India and UK, were not so good. Probably that was the reason why UK was not allowing the Indians to enter into their country very soon or very in a very smooth way. So ये authenticity का issue है ही नहीं. The vaccines are authenticated. The certificate is authenticated. अगर authenticate नहीं होता तो फिर vaccines को roll out क्यों करते? हेमंत,
ऑथेंटिकेशन तो अपने नेशन में है, वो तो हम बोला ही, बट इंटरनेशनल फोरम से क्लेम नहीं मिल रहा.
अरे
अब वो
WHO ने
पॉइंट आउट पड़ेगा. वो
WHO ने
गलती होती है.
कोविशील्ड
WHO
वर्ल्ड वाइड वेरीफाइड है एंड इंटरनेशनली ट्रैवल के लिए कोविशील्ड ही मस्ट है.
WHO has already approved that. I think what you were trying to say is not authenticity, the credibility that you were trying to say. The word
वही
was
वही.
credibility, not authenticity.
अच्छा. ओ,
तो
राइट राइट.
हाँ,
क्रेडिबिलिटी आई मेंट.
तो क्रेडिबिलिटी उसका कितना है कि इवन दो इंडिया इज वन ऑफ द लार्जेस्ट वैक्सीन मैन्युफैक्चरर्स इन द वर्ल्ड, फिर भी ग्लोबल फोरम पे इंडिया के वैक्सीन को क्रेडिबिलिटी नहीं है.
ओ राइट सर, सही. इट
ऑल्दो
वाज अ बेटर लाइन.
हाँ, दिस वाज द वर्ड दैट यू वर लुकिंग फॉर. हाउएवर अनदर एम्प्लॉयमेंट का क्वेश्चन कैसे आता है हेमंत? Now that COVID-19 has really opened up our eyes for the need for the attention we should be giving to medical infrastructure, all the frontline workers are going to do extra job in the coming future. उल्टा एम्प्लॉयमेंट कम नहीं होने वाला है, एम्प्लॉयमेंट बढ़ने वाला है इसमें. because this is an eye opener for the government. हम लोग कितना स्पेंड करते हैं? 1%, 1 to 2% of the GDP we spent on health, whereas developed countries spend somewhere around 8% to 12% in different countries. So now the government has understood that we need to spend more on the medical infrastructure. So employment कम नहीं होने वाला है वहां पर, employment बढ़ने वाला है.
I think you meant the volunteers, sir. जो volunteers है, I mean the people who are volunteering. I don't know about the other state. I think a couple of states have volunteers for every area, and they will be monitoring the vaccines. I think Hemant meant that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Hemant.
हाँ, of course. तो फिर अब volunteers सामने आए हैं तो they will be working in the health infrastructure only ना.
True, true, sir.
So
Yes,
what you meant to say is contractual employment.
correct.
हाँ,
Yeah, that was his point. I think.
टर्म्स का थोड़ा
हाँ,
टर्म्स का.
contractual employment वो तो contractual employment तो होता ही है. There is always an auxiliary unit with the government. इलेक्शन के टाइम पर तुमको क्या लगता है कि इलेक्शन कमीशन के लोग सारा काम करते हैं? The bridge for manpower is filled by the teachers and the municipal corporation people.
Yes, sir, definitely.
तो वो
राइट.
employment वहां
स्टेट
पर कम
टीचर.
नहीं होने वाला है, वो ज्यादा होने वाला है.
And also we can know that we know that India is the world's largest pharmaceutical manufacturing plants are in India, right?
अभी वो भी तो
So there
बढ़ेगा ना.
is quite, definitely.
तो ये चीज थोड़ा सा आई थिंक सो वोकैबुलरी एंड आर्टिकुलेशन इज नीडेड हेमंत, बट कॉन्फिडेंस के लिए और पार्टिसिपेशन के लिए 1000 out of 100 मार्क्स. पूरा पूरा वहां पर डोमिनेट किया काफी अच्छे से. Coming to you, Bhavya,
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
absolutely good entry. Fantastically, you entered into the group discussion. You had
Thank
good
you.
command over the discussion right from the beginning because of the proficiency of the language. You stated very good stats, especially the countries that you mentioned in the group discussion in about the stats you are mentioning about the vaccinations. So the point that you mentioned about countries, very good. इंद्रधनुष was a bang on point. ओके बहुत सारे लोगों को पता नहीं है कि वैक्सीनेशन प्रोग्राम का नाम क्या है. ओके सो इंद्रधनुष was one good thing there. However,
Yes.
ये जो लॉजिस्टिक्स का पार्ट है आप उसे और थोड़ा अच्छे से एक्सप्लोर कर सकते थे. यू कुड हैव एक्सप्लोर्ड दिस पॉइंट अ लिटिल बिट मोर ऑन पार्ट. You did
Yes.
mention about storage and transportation of the vaccines, but you did not touch upon the damages that are done.
Yes.
Okay, so that
I
is
also
where
remove.
I think a little bit focus on this logistics part. क्योंकि 100 crore vaccines हो गए हैं. It's not easy ना. Also, the health workers, the frontline workers who are working in the rural areas, वो कितना negativity से जा रहे थे. मतलब उनके ऊपर मैन हैंडलिंग के केसेस भी लग चुके हैं because they were trying to give the jab to the people who already have an apprehension related to the vaccination, and they did not have the right mindset that these vaccines are good enough or not. So damage ka bhi in the hard terrains of India where the vaccines were transported, where they did not have good connectivity, okay, where they had no good connectivity, of
Mm.
course uh, they face damages. So logistics was one challenge in this part. However, like I said, Bhavya, absolutely fantastic on the participation part. काफी
Thank you.
काफी काफी अच्छे से आपने पार्टिसिपेट किया and you dominated the GD right from the beginning. Good participation, guys. It was really a good uh, discussion today. Any
Thank you.
question you guys have for me? Hemant, Janish, Bhavya, Vicky, any questions you guys have for me?
So
So,
just one question.
body language
All the
cover.
all the GDs I have attended, they have this spot on topics.
Huh.
So yeah, that's true, right?
See, we also have
See,
spot on
yeah,
topics.
the main reason for me to not participate was also not having enough material or enough preparation.
See, when we decided to have a group discussion from the past couple of discussions we are having, I on purpose give you the topic beforehand so that
Yeah.
you can research and you will not have this nervousness or you will not be low on confidence. That is one of the reasons why I am letting you even keep your cameras off.
Okay.
So after CAT, after ZAT, after CMAT, when we actually start with the group discussions and interview, we give the topic on the spot.
All right. All right. Got it.
Okay.
Definitely, sir.
Yes, Hemant.
So, body language के बारे में if you could enlighten थोड़ा.
Body language तो सबसे पहले I'll tell you, Baba, you need to stop people from destroying your background. Okay, I could see your brother or your friend constantly is there in the frame. Abhi bhi, your younger brother, I think so he had to do something. So whenever you are there in the group discussion, Hemant, सबसे पहले तो you have a plain background. Okay, काफी plain background रखना and make use of your hands a little bit more. Keep the pencil down. I could see you had a pencil in the entire group discussion. Uh, However, it doesn't matters, but make sure that you are having a very composed and confident body language reflecting from what you are saying. Make small gestures while discussion, not aggressive on क्या बात कर रहा है ऐसा वाला नहीं. So you can give small gestures like you're trying to. However, you did not give. I'm just giving you an example. मैं सिर्फ ऐसा एक छोटा सा example दे रहा हूँ. Sit straight, okay. Do not have a lean body posture. whenever you are in the discussion, sit straight, talk with confidence, address your group members very properly. And Hemant, ये छोड़ दे बाबा कि तुझे कुछ कहना है क्या, तुझे कुछ कहना है क्या, do you want to contribute? Why are you giving your opportunity? You see, there are two things. A smart moderator will know about this thing. He will caught you right, he will catch you right handed. वो बोलेगा कि इज रनिंग अराउंड द बुश, इसके पास बोलने के लिए कुछ नहीं है, इसीलिए ये सबको पोक कर रहा है कि तू बोल तू बोल तू बोल. या फिर ऐसा भी हो सकता है, यू रियली वांट टू गिव चांस टू अदर पीपल. बट आई वुड से कि दिस, यहाँ तो सिर्फ 4 लोग हैं, से देयर आर ओनली 4 people here, but in the actual group discussion there are going to be 12-15 people. So the moment you get an opportunity, you should grab and speak what you have to say about the topic and not give your opportunity to someone else. ये छोड़ दो, समाज सेवा ग्रुप डिस्कशन में नहीं कर सकते. Okay, it is all on you that day. The day is all on you. Okay.
Sir, does this
इसके
have
Yes,
I think
Bhavya.
इसके pertaining
does
एक दो पॉइंट. अच्छा ठीक है भव्या.
okay, please Hemant, go ahead. No, it's fine.
Hemant,
अच्छा
go on.
इससे
हाँ.
pertaining सर एक दो पॉइंट है. जैसे हम पहले कॉलेज में एक दो जीडी किया हुआ है, तो उसमें मॉडरेटर्स बोलते हैं फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल एक तो लीडरशिप पॉइंट्स मिलते हैं. व्हेन यू सी एक्चुअली दैट पीपल आर नॉट ट्राइंग टू स्पीक इन और पीक इन, बट यू हैव ऑब्जर्व्ड कि वो लोग बोलना चाहते हैं बट दे आर नॉट एबल टू. तो पहले उन लोग व्हेन यू आर कंप्लीटेड, जैसे मेरा 3 पॉकेट बना हुआ था सर. इफ यू सी, हम एक बार इंडिया के बारे में बोला, एक बार एक्सपोर्ट के बारे में बोला, एक बार ऑथेंटिसिटी के बारे में बोला. तो हम अपना पॉइंट कंप्लीट करने के बाद अब जब मेरे पास, अब हम कितना बोलेगा, तो मेरे पास कुछ बता नहीं, तो हम बुला रहे किसी को कि बोलो फिर, ताकि हम भी कुछ पॉइंट गैदर करें.
Like I said, a good moderator will point this thing out that you are only trying to run around the bush because you don't have anything to say. You are simply poking the other people in the
Points
group.
तो है ही, बट अब एक साथ थोड़ी बोल देगा, अब आप कोहेरेंट नहीं होगा ना.
अरे, I'm telling you, ऐसा मौका ही नहीं आएगा when there are 12-15 people in the group discussion. ये बहुत कन्वेंशनल फॉर्म ऑफ ग्रुप डिस्कशंस होता था. अभी they don't have time, the moderators don't have time, तो बल्क में जीडी ले लेते हैं सबका. कहां पर देखेगा लीडरशिप पॉइंट, क्या देखेगा? ये जितना तुम कंट्रीब्यूट करोगे उतना आपका चांसेस बढ़ेगा टू बी सिलेक्टेड. एंड रिमेंबर, जीडी इज अ एलिमिनेशन राउंड. सिलेक्शन नहीं होता है इधर, इट्स एन एलिमिनेशन. दे वांट टू एलिमिनेट यू. If you are not compatible, you will be eliminated. Interview is a selection procedure. वहां पर फिर फाइनल क्राइटेरिया लगता है. ग्रुप डिस्कशन में अगर पार्टिसिपेट नहीं करोगे, इफ यू गिव योर चांस टू समवन एल्स, आपको निकाल देंगे वो, बिकॉज you are not saying, giving up your opinion about the topic. Got it?
Okay.
Yes, Bhavya.
Sir, does TISSNET have a group discussion?
No. There was a group discussion before, Bhavya, but now we have to see what is going to be the entire selection procedure for TISS. Now, last year they had OPI round, that was extempore and interview, but
Okay.
that was because of the second wave being at its peak during the selection procedure of COVID-19. But we really have to see now that what is going to be their entire selection procedure. Maybe probably in this week or by mid-November, the notification for TISS will be out, and probably we will come to know. They will then declare what is going to be the selection criteria for TISSNET this time, whether they are going to have TISSPAT and TISSMAT, or they are directly going to jump to OPI like they did this year after TISSNET.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Okay. However, on the contrary, we need to prepare with the contemporary topics that are there, because extempore, this year's extempore was all about contemporary topics, all contemporary topics.
Yes, sir.
So we need to prepare on that lines.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Anything else, guys? No. So
No, sir.
let me just quickly tell all the viewers before we part ways that, guys, do enroll yourself for the free 4 mock test which is conducted by Unacademy. 2 tests have already taken place. 31st को third होगा और 7th को fourth one होगा. This is absolutely a free test, but you need an invite code to enroll for free. So just use my educator code, that is RUSHI, and this is the link that is given for you to enroll. Also, guys, you can check out the Ask a
fundamental.
Doubt feature by Unacademy. You go to the Doubts and Solution feature on your home
ની પતી
screen.
ગયો પણ
Click
final
on Ask a Doubt and upload your image. Crop the image and highlight and choose the section from which the question belongs. Also, guys, Unacademy bumper iconic offer is still on, and the offer is valid till 31st of October. Just subscribe with the iconic subscription and you will be able to uh, avail all these benefits. The 1 year subscription plan for iconic goes for 39,500 and the 2 years goes for 59,999. Similarly, for plus it goes for 16,400 for 6 months, 28,550 for 18, and 32,800 for 24 months. And do not forget to use my educator code, guys, because that will give you an additional 10% discount to all your subscriptions. Thank you all for joining me for this session. The participants were absolutely fantastic. Thank you all the viewers in the comment section. You guys have a very, very, very good evening ahead. I will see you tomorrow for the sessions. Till then, you guys take care. Let's crack it. Bye bye. Have a very good evening ahead, guys.